Hi guys, I'm glad to see you again. I'm Andressa, and this is the series that's all about business phone calls. Today's lesson is Business Phone Calls 10 Golden Rules for Having Successful Business Phone Calls. Hardly any other form of business communication is as effective as a phone call. It's direct, personal, and immediate. Yet, many of us are still unsure how to maximize our business calls. In fact, according to a comprehensive study, only 21% of business communication is kept simple and jargon-free. So pay attention to our 10 golden rules to make business calls with confidence. 1. Identify the purpose of the call. This might seem banal, but we have all been on the receiving end of someone who did not follow this step. Is it a sales call, a briefing, or a follow-up to a meeting? Then be aware of the following aspects in order to have a structure in your phone calls. Always know the purpose of every call and plan accordingly. If you're following up on a face-to-face team, make sure there remains the purpose of the call. Don't suddenly start discussing a non-related topic. If you need to discuss something else, then schedule another call and send a message ahead of time about what you want to talk about. 2. Make a roadmap for your business phone call. Take a couple of minutes to jot down bullet points. This should be the backbone of the call and can include key questions you want to ask, key dates when arranging follow-ups or events, things you want to clarify from a previous call. A roadmap removes the danger of forgetting any crucial points and saves you the embarrassment of having to call back. 3. Do the research for your call. Research the person and/or company that you are calling. How many times have you followed up an email only for the person to say, "I'm sorry, what company was that?" This really comes across as unprofessional. By researching the company and the person you call, a quick check of the company's website and the person's LinkedIn profile shows that you have put the extra effort in. As a minimum, you should know the following in order to have a successful business call. The main market that a company is in. What position or department the person you are calling is in. 4. Create a fun-friendly environment. Give your business call the respect it deserves by booking a conference room. This ensures that you will have a quiet environment free of disturbances. If this is not possible, at least try to find a quiet corner of the office to make the call. Even letting colleagues know that you have a call ensures they know to respect that time and keep chatting to a minimum. Remember, be purposeful. These tips will keep your call on track. 5. Be concise in your phone call messaging. Proper communication consists of listening and speaking. Therefore, be aware of the 3 aspects in order to have a successful business call. Formulate your message in a precise manner and make it easier for the other person to listen to you. Before your call, think about what the aim of the conversation is. Focus your communication on achieving that goal. It sounds trivial, but if you do not get to the point of your message, then you will override the capacity of the listener. A psychological stress response that ruins the flow of the dialogue. In the worst case, your counterpart will label your conversation as a mere waste of time. 6. Be friendly and be direct in your business call. Don't just blurt something out, but at the same time, don't be too timid. You have a reason to call. That's what your counterpart is assuming anyway. A little small talk goes a long way. By saying a brief, "How are you?" or a personal statement like, "I hope you had a great holiday with your family." This will demonstrate empathy and interest without running the risk of losing yourself in endless private stories. 7. Test if your message was understood. A telephone conversation is not like writing a master thesis. Nevertheless, you should check whether the transmission of information is working. Invite your counterpart to ask questions about the content of your conversation. If someone doesn't have any spontaneous questions, they tend to reflect what has been said in their own words. And this is a perfect way for you to double check. Check whether your message has reached the other person at the other end of the line. This type of feedback is important because a phone call is about more than just what is actually said. 8. Speak clearly when having your phone call. People mumble, but not speaking clearly puts the listener in an uncomfortable position. They have to ask you to repeat things. Remember, you are not face to face. Messages are much more harder to decode without body language, gestures, and facial expressions. This means you really have to try to speak as clearly as possible. 9. Don't transfer or put people on hold without asking. Never assume that the person you are calling has enough time to wait around on hold. Respect their time by asking if they mind first. The same goes for transferring the call to another person or department. Ask first if the person is comfortable being transferred and provide them with helpful information before you do. This makes the process much smoother. At a minimum, you should state those 2 points. 1. The reason you need to transfer them. And 2. A concise introduction to the person you are transferring to. In such cases, you should also familiarize yourself with your telecommunications so that you can operate it easily and without complications. 10. Last but not least, smile. One great tip for speaking clearly is to smile. This might sound surprising, but it can actually make you sound more natural, particularly if you get a little anxious before calls. With these tips, I'm sure your phone calls will sound more confident than ever. In the next lesson and final lesson, I'll give you another 10 phrases for business calls. Thanks for watching. Keep practicing. Bye guys!